Biscuit head in a bag.
Hello, everyone.
God damn it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ichor in Honor. I am your host, the Herald. Welcome to the Order of the Dice. And, man, we had a lot to think about after last week.
Had empty, no thoughts.
Yeah. Well, at least I know I did. But welcome, everyone. So glad you could join us. So, announcements-wise, the only thing there's two things I have to mention. One of which is that next week we are not going to be having a session as we have a lot of things going on during that Halloween. So, but we will be back on next Sunday for more Ichor in Honor. So don't worry about that. Also, during this time, during that downtime, I will be working on some content for my other channel, the Herald Studios. So please be sure to be on the lookout for that. Other than that, guess all I have to say is please be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this campaign. So, and yeah, other than that, as you can see, our Dumb Luck Club is all dressed up for the Halloween season.
And we have a new member, Nacho.
Yes, yeah. Nacho. For those who don't know, Lydia is NASA-chan, as I call it. Gale, I can't tell which headband that is.
Leaf.
Oh, it's a leaf, okay.
No, it's the Akatsuki leaf.
Oh, the Akatsuki leaf, okay.
Rogue Ninja from Konoha.
Yeah. Umiko is doing a one-up on all of us with that Oni look.
No one gave me parameters for today.
I appreciate it. I will love it. I loved it.
This is what happens when no one tells me what's actually happening.
I appreciate it. I will tell you that.
Mood.
Then we also have Delan, who I want to say he's giving me some Ranger Apprentice vibes, but that's all I'm going to say.
You're close, very close.
Okay.
Here's a hint.
Dungeon Master, you have failed this city.
Oh, okay.
You know, you know.
Now I know.
Green Arrow.
Yes.
There you go.
Daphne. Daphne is one of her OCs, the Cyberpunk OC.
Yes.
Me, if you know Toy Story, you kind of know who I am. But other than that, and without any further delay, let us go ahead and begin Ichor and Honor. And Dice Gods help us all.
It's been a week.
Help me because yesterday the highest thing I rolled was an 8 with modifiers.
Wow.
That is true.
Jeez.
Yep.
That makes it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times.
Not when you're trying to attack things that are trying to kill you.
Makes it interesting.
It's an interesting fight.
Gotta
that
use
is true.
Smarts.
Okay, so I'm trying to find the right music for this because my goodness.
What recap?
I know. So I'm just gonna use this for now. So where we last left off with the party, you all had made your way to the monastery, and the one that used to be the home of Umiko. And as you were arriving there, you had, funny enough, had a chance where you were actually not only meeting them, but on your way to figure out more information about the Oni, but found it out that one of the daughters of the who happens to be part of the family that's leading a portion of the Kanabo Compact was there. Morai. Needless to say, Morai was not exactly seemed to be impressed with the Dumb Luck Club. And was not really subtle about it, to say the least. But but as you had you despite this, realized the necessity of the situation and learned that the Kanabo Compact was threatened by the mere fact that they're seeing this as, some of them are seeing this as an opportunity to break away. to break away and form their own sort of autonomy, instead of actually helping against the fight against the faithful and the first emperor. With this in mind, you all ventured forth. But as you were making your way, you had a chance encounter with what appeared to be that of a merchant selling some rather exotic animals as pets. You all purchased some, but all had discovered later on that through a decapitation, that these were not just animals. As the one who had passed on had suddenly turned into a headless half-elf, which caused a bit of a panic and a realization that after casting Speak with Animals that these people were once humanoid and were freaking out a bit. So while this happened, Lydia had casted Reincarnation on the headless half-elf. And then afterwards, suddenly appearing in the snow, 5 feet away from the group, was a goblin. Bit confused and disoriented by what just happened. And it was at this point where we pick up as Youth is suddenly startled by this, seeing this goblin in the snow, and just like, ambush! And pulls out her arquebus and aims it.
No.
Nope. Reincarnate.
Fine.
While this is happening, the goblin looks and just like, ah!
No. Everyone stop. Everyone stop. No one move.
I dropped my brain.
The goblin just freezes, just like.
Youth, reincarnate doesn't always turn them back into what they're supposed to be. Remember? That's what happened with Diar.
It's a goblin!
No.
We are not racist to goblins, Youth. It's fine.
No.
We are
I
not.
don't know if Talus is doing the same, but no.
You just see Talus just holding a pepper box, just like in a like partial view, and just like
No.
slowly puts it away, or at least lowers it.
Delan turns to Lydia, still holding Jonesy. What did he say he used to be?
That yours was Jonesy's the cat. He was a fisherman, and apparently he was doing something with pirates, and they sold him out, and then he got turned into Jonesy.
What sort of creature was he?
He didn't. Did he say?
You never asked.
He was just saying a fisherman. He was a fisherman.
And keep in mind, they were panicking when you were asking them this.
Yeah.
Because they just
They
saw
also
someone
just
get
watched-
decapitated.
Yep.
Jonesy holds up, or Delan holds up Jonesy and just goes, "What are you?"
He can't talk.
I did speak with animals, Delan. Unless you can talk to animals.
Well, he knows that Lydia would be able to hear him.
It's been more than 10 minutes, I think.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
because
this-
you had to cast reincarnate.
Because reincarnation takes an hour.
That's right. Okay.
I mean,
If things have calmed down with Youth, she's gonna look towards the goblin. Is he still frozen in place? You can move now, dear. It's fine. She's not gonna shoot you. She's not going to shoot you. She said, looking at Youth. Put it down.
She's just holding it, just like, this is too weird for me.
Now, I am very sorry for what just happened to you. That must have been very shocking. You may not want to look in a mirror right now.
What are you talking about? All I know is I in one moment I was a snake, and now the next moment I just see giants.
We're not giants. You're just small.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
No.
Let me just double check my persuasion because I haven't had to roll persuasion in a while, which is hilarious because that's my whole thing.
No, you've been making wisdom saves. I love you.
Okay, so that's +9.
Mm-hmm.
Dice gods, be nice. As I actually get into my right thing. So +9, roll 24.
Okay.
Ooh.
What?
All right.
How is that possible?
How do I put this delicately? There was an accident,
He was
and
there,
he
technically.
doesn't remember. Something happened,
Drama.
and we had to basically heal you. And now you're not technically a half-elf anymore.
What? And then he just, for the first time, looks at his hands. And then pats his face.
And
And then he looks down.
I need you to breathe. That's not
Flip out. Absolute flip out.
Umiko, she's not here.
Nope.
I mean,
Umiko walked ahead with
I'm
Mirai.
up front.
Up front with Murai, who's still moving on.
Yeah, like someone trying to keep her just not paying attention to that.
Dalan sits
Cause
Jonesy
an
down in
aval-
front of. Oh, sorry.
Gonna cause an avalanche if you do not stop. Thank you.
Do you have a name? We should get that out of the way.
Almon. Almon.
Almond?
Almon.
I thought almond would be funny.
I heard almond too.
It's almond without the D.
Aw, nuts.
Well, almond. We have slightly two options. Either you can travel with us for a bit until you get your bearings, or I can point you in the direction of town and you could start walking. I mean, what else is there, Daphne? Don't give me that look.
The monastery?
That's in the direction of town!
Well, what do we do about these two? I say, pointing towards the two animals.
We have to go. They are stuck with us until we can turn them back.
Dalan sets Josie down in front of him, puts his hand on top of his head, the other hand on top of his drum, and casts polymorph on him.
On who?
On Jonesy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Trying to
don't we know their names? Do we? Ask
Well,
them?
he-
His name is
he's-
Cooper. He has a name.
He's a cat right now. He's Jonesy.
He's a Don't tell us you're a cat.
Is he a jellicle cat?
So he casts polymorph on him, trying to turn him into a humanoid.
Okay.
He just
Which human?
Oh my
Which
god.
human?
for a brief moment, as he's trying to picture just general humanoid, Redalia does cross his mind.
Yes.
Redalia.
You're
Gale
turning
just-
Jonesy into Redalia?
Gale just looks over to Diar. You are never allowed to have a pet again.
In fairness, he didn't buy it to be a pet.
I
Wait,
don't
wait,
think
wait,
Diar
wait,
wanted
as this-
animal companionship.
As you try to cast polymorph on him, Dalan, doesn't seem to work. And while this is happening, the almond speaks up and just like, wait, And then he just like slowly looks over to Diar.
I made it quick.
If you've ever seen a goblin turn to a pastel green, this is your first time. As he just stares at Diar, just like...
He didn't know. Didn't know. None of us knew.
Phil! We just bought these. We just bought them. And then Dear's...
Well, in fairness, okay, look, Diar can do whatever he wants with his pets. Doesn't make it okay, but he can do whatever he wants with them.
In front of the
Technically,
other
it was
pet's
just materials.
Did you say you were gonna make them into cereal?
Materials.
No, technically it was just materials in my mind.
Dear never bought the snake for animal companionship.
No, that's why I have Gale.
Gale's going to... Gale's gonna hear that.
Subtlety, what's that?
You know what? I have a... You know what? Fuck you. And Gale's going to...
Okay.
Okay.
shoot Eldritch Blast at Diar.
Okay, roll an attack, Gale.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So, you have a choice. You can travel with us.
As he's casting Eldritch Blast, your eyes focus back to Almond, and you see that he's slowly trying to sneak away.
Yeah, no, keep going that direction. You'll eventually find a
He's going directly.
monastery.
He's going the wrong direction towards the monastery.
Wrong way towards the monastery.
But he will jump over Aura and like turn his shoulders, and be like, go that way, just straight. You'll be fine.
24.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your attack.
Diar's gonna use a shield spell.
Okay.
Diar's gonna use shield spell, making his AC 25.
Okay.
Why are we starting like this?
If you run it, and when you find the monastery, say the Dumb Luck Club sent you and explain the situation.
Ask for Yora, and just say the Dumb Luck Club sent you.
Yora's gonna reconsider probably why she let us be the representatives.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Send us.
Right. Okay. And then he just bolts like he's like a bat out of hell.
Safe travels, friend. Okay, that's done.
The youth just chimes in. Did you really call him a friend after having decapitated him?
I'm not the one who decapitated him. I was trying to be friendly, so... What's your
Daphne's
point?
turned towards the other animals. We're gonna work on this. She, pointing to Lydia, can learn dispel magic, come after her next rest. We're gonna work this out.
They just have blank looks on their face. Says they can't understand
I
you.
don't think they know common, Daphne. You're just saying it to make yourself feel better, and whatever helps you sleep at night, love.
Oh, I don't know speak with animals.
Well, you should start learning.
I can try polymorphing them.
Didn't Dylan just try doing that and it didn't work?
Did they save against it, or did it just not work?
I don't know, polymorph.
All right, Daphne's going to point towards not Jonesy.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to try polymorph on that one because Daphne, not to shoot her own horn, is pretty sure she has a higher DC.
Mm-hmm.
So Slecker is Jonesy and Sarai is Black Wolf, I believe.
All right.
Gale
Yeah,
named
the
his.
blink dog.
She's going to picture... Okay, knowing it's a girl, she's... Knowing Sarai's a girl, she's gonna picture basic human, like...
Also Redalia.
Oh, Redalia is anything but basic, first of all.
She is just a blonde human, though.
I'm a blonde human!
So am I.
Okay, she's just gonna picture, like, basic... Similar features to Redalia, because that is the first human she would think of.
Thank you. That's what.
Uncanny Valley Redalia.
And
That was
the
Taylor's train of thought.
DC is 17.
You cast it, No luck. No changes.
Oh yeah, Gale.
Could also be the mountains.
Gale has taken off towards Umiko and Murai.
Yeah, our charge is leaving.
Dalan is following.
Fine. We'll figure this out next time we rest. Remember
Gale, do that again, you'll lose a toe.
the Eldritch Blast thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I can regenerate things later. Hopefully. Don't worry.
Don't do it on purpose to lose a toe, though, because she'll make you be toeless for a few days to learn the lesson.
I'm pretty sure I can leave.
So,
I'm pretty sure. Well, wait.
while this is all happening, Umiko, Morai, you and Morai are just continuing onward as, in your peripheral vision, Umiko, you notice the others are starting to catch up now. Minus one goblin.
There was a goblin from her point of view.
Yeah, you saw it.
Okay, cool.
You heard the panic.
Okay. Hope she didn't hear that. How far is the compact from us?
About 2 days. That's what what do you I'm getting so
What is
distracted.
that?
Don't worry about it. I'm not here.
We're not there yet.
I get circling back to like what she was talking about earlier. You didn't ever actually answer my question of what you wanted.
What I wanted? What I want doesn't matter right now.
Doesn't it matter right now?
My task will come around once my father is gone. Then I'll be able to do what I want.
DM, you never answered my question during the week, but did we ever end up like actually meeting each other when we were younger?
Yes, and go ahead and give me a history check real quick for this. It is
Okay.
at advantage, however.
Yay, for advantage.
Where'd my D&D Bond just decided to delete its tab? Okay,
This is
whatever. Why is it taking forever to load? Actually, I know I have a +0. It's history. I know this.
bless you.
Bless.
Well, that's a nat 1 for the first one.
Oh,
14.
14. Okay, so you remember from your time spending with Morai that she talked a little bit about how it works with her family. In that particular culture, they don't really see you as an adult until you actually are taking on the role that you are to inherit. So if you're part of a family of hunters, it would be once you are able to hunt on your own. In her case, because she's the head of the clan, like her father's the head of the tribe of the Scarlet Tusks. Her task, like, she won't exactly be considered an adult until she takes her role as the tribe leader.
Okay.
So you kind of get the feeling that from knowing this history that it might be a little bit of that until she's not really recognized for who she is until she takes on that role.
Okay. she's not necessarily gonna stop Mariah, but like kind of like stop so we can like let the others catch up.
Mhm.
But she's just gonna say, can we drop the titles and just talk like we were as kids for a sec?
It's at that point she herself stops and looks to you. You mean before you abandoned everything?
That was my mistake, and I know I bear that for a lot. But I don't want to make that mistake going in, or only be known for making that mistake going in to talk to your father. But I'm not talking to him right now. I'm talking to you.
Give me a persuasion check.
11.
Go.
She pauses. You know how we work. Your actions speak. So you must show me that's not the same thing as before. She turns and starts walking away once more.
I'll keep up with her.
Mm-hmm.
Say, well, I'm here now. I'm here to fix that, to show you that I've changed.
I'll be keeping an eye on that. It's at this point you all catch up to Umiko and Morai.
All right.
Delan is just cackling at the whole thing between Diar and Gale.
So
As you would.
how long exactly is it going to take us to get to the compact, Meringue?
2 days.
All right.
Gale's going to actually point to Delan.
That is if we don't have any distractions.
I mean, we might get Daphne's mansion again, so that'll be fine. Better than camping.
Yes, Gale?
Gale's actually going to point to Delan and cast message. You know, that's what the people at my old village used to call me as an animal. So I don't appreciate being called an animal companion.
Observant?
Observant.
You hear that?
Yeah, you
Take
can hear
messages
because
out
observant
loud.
whisper.
They never learn.
Well,
Some of them.
it's part of her, the part of the thing he has to do for a message.
Delan kind of just like very slowly like points a finger towards Gale and just kind of whispers back, I remember. This is what which is why I found it hilarious when you nearly blasted him off his ass.
He's kind of off to the side to practice tests. She's gonna test something. She's on her auric. She's gonna test something
Okay.
because her magic has only ever worked weird in one area, and that was Mount Kieran. So she's just gonna gently tap herself and try casting Prestidigitation.
Okay.
Does that work?
Seems to work just fine. Also, just a heads up that they updated the spell, so just a forewarning.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, they changed up some of the wording, but it's still pretty much the same. But yeah.
So it's the same way Daphne's been using it.
Yeah.
From like getting dirt off of people to removing ink from people's hair when she didn't know there was ink in people's hair.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never.
Yeah. You would never as
that
a
just
drow.
sounds like a mess.
Alright, so that works.
Sending stone still technically worked. Wait, no, actually, I don't know. Ashraf never responded.
So at this point, Ashraf does respond and says,
Convenient.
not exactly sure what happened. You suddenly sound panicked at the end. But hope everything is well. Now you know why I'm hesitant on getting pets.
That's why Martin is a spell component. Nope. Okay. Sending stone works at least
Okay.
right now.
Does Lydia look any different than she did this morning?
We're rolling dice.
There's rolling dice.
We're
Does
rolling
Anyone
dice.
look different?
Right? Body check?
Does anyone look different? Is anyone growing horns or tails?
Or changing
Well-
colors?
Delan just checks the length of his horns.
Just,
There is one thing you notice different about Lydia.
Big.
You notice that her hair seems to be turning into that strawberry blonde from before.
Daphne's just suddenly like looking at Lydia, and she brings her arc like a little closer, and just like suddenly looking really closely at her to make sure it's not a trick of her eyes.
Lydia will just like lean in, like, as well, like, what are you staring at, Daphne?
Did you dye your hair when we weren't looking?
When would I dye my hair? We've been together since this morning.
It's turning back to strawberry blonde.
No.
Yes. Daphne's gonna bring out her mirror from her disguise kit and like open it.
As you open it, you see that part of the tips of it have actually started reverting to that strawberry blonde.
Magic mountains.
Fucking
And here we've been like guessing I'm gonna get antlers. Nope, my hair's just reverting. Okay.
Well, didn't Azeroth like your strawberry blonde hair?
Yeah. Because I look like a red panda. Funny, Daphne. Why are you laughing?
No,
Funny
Why are you
thing is,
laughing?
no one in character knows.
Nope.
no
Nope.
one knows this.
No one in character knows.
Mm-hmm.
No, Ashraf liked my red hair.
Okay. Daphne's gonna like now look at her like because her hair's long. She's gonna bring it forward to see if her hair is changing at all.
Yeah, just like body check everyone.
Body check. Anyone
Tick check?
Okay, is everyone doing a body check?
Body check.
Body
Sure.
check.
Sure.
Okay. I would
am not.
Okay, except for Diar, everyone roll me a D100.
Oh no!
Hell yeah.
Oh!
Ooh.
84.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm worried. What if I get
95.
25.
something? 2!
Jesus, how?
I don't know. I just got it 2.
Mine went over to the game log, not roll 20.
No worries. Well, Lydia already saw hers, so. But. Okay. Let's roll something here.
Fun.
Give me a moment.
You fell over, baby. You okay?
Now I have to get another Lydia wig.
Oh no, you have to buy more costume stuff.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I could probably
What a
just take the
shame.
drow wig that I bought and
I'm
just dye
Still
it.
waiting for that Garlos cosplay.
Yo, that takes body confidence that I don't have right now.
Fair.
What? All you have to do is get rid of one of your arms.
Easy.
Easy.
Just chop it off. Who
Just
needs
pull
it?
Or better yet, pull a hiccup or an Edward Elric.
Damn, shit.
Who needs it?
I got a kitty.
Nacho.
Okay.
Nugget's resting right now. Okay.
As
Let's hear
you take a look, Daphne, you notice that there's a bit more, almost out of nowhere, just like, even though you're an Eladrin, you kind of have control over your seasons and everything, but you start to have like leaves and such, like almost like small branches begin to emerge from your skin, as if like you're, and like it's growing in like still a green color, but still like it's just like, what is this?
If I try pulling at it, do they come out?
You pull on it. It does come off, but yeah, you notice it. It's seemed to be growing a little bit.
I'm turning into a tree.
I can do that. It's not that bad.
Daphne just holds up an arm. No, I'm literally turning into a tree.
You just see like some branches, almost like like very tiny, like almost like as in best way to describe it is, you know, like you know how small the trees, the branches are on a bonsai.
Oh yeah.
Like that kind, just like emerging, like from her arm.
Does it hurt, Daphne?
It's like pulling dead skin.
It's kind of like when you get a sunburn and you have to pull the skin off.
I love doing that, but yeah.
This is new. This is new for me. Like, I can change my hair to be any season, but this is new.
Can you change the tree branches into seasons?
Daphne's gonna try turning into her winter form to see if all the leaves fall off.
As you turn into your winter form, they become frosted, like almost like the frost like you would see on plants during when it's snowing. Like it's covered in a frost.
Okay, that is pretty cool, actually. Are they like emerging from my skin, or are they just like on top of it?
Like emerging from your skin.
It's like when you accidentally get like a plant seed in your dermis and like a little like plant starts poking out through your skin.
Okay.
I actually never knew that was a thing. Thank you for letting me know.
Yo, you a druid?
I don't think so.
I can teach you a few things, maybe. I'm less plants, more stars now, but you know, still got that education.
Maybe it's just this is gonna take a while. I'm gonna better examine this later tonight when we're in the mansion. See how
All has a green thumb though.
spring form. Instantly, just like mine definitely went in the gutter.
By the way, who's next to Diar?
I imagine Gale, because Gale said.
Right.
Yeah, Diar went up next to Gale.
Gale, can you give me an insight check real quick?
Sure.
You couldn't exactly tell, but you feel like there's something off about Diar.
Gale's kind of avoiding eye contact, but he'll just glance.
But there's something off about him.
Looks like you're starting to change too, asshole.
Children, do not make me come back there and separate you.
Are you looking back at them?
She's not. She's just pointing behind them.
Okay.
Because she knows where they are.
Okay. All right. So, continue onward. Just to a point where you feel that it's going to be... It's getting close to the end of the day. Soon enough, the sun starts resting over near the other end of the mountain range. Probably want to you start to consider that it might be either deciding to either trek forward or to stop for the night.
Are we gonna keep going throughout the night? Or, Mirai, Do you want to camp? How safe is nighttime travel?
Depends, really. Some of you who are not exactly accustomed to this land, as she glances over at each and every one of you, it's probably best to stop for the night, I would imagine.
I'm okay with stopping.
Is there a place for us to tie up our beasts?
You're still in like the valley of the of this mountain range, so there's not really much in the way of tying up.
Lydia, could you like druidcraft like a tree or something that can like so we can wrap the reins around?
That might be pushing the limits, Daphne, but let me see. Oh! Something! I bought something!
Oh man.
Oh, man! Where are we just pulling over here? Or are we gonna keep going a little bit? Like, where do we want to stop?
It's starting to get a bit dark, and it takes me a minute to make the mansion. So
here. Yeah?
if you
Pulling
like,
off?
sure.
Okay.
You
Okay.
seem very excited. I'm somewhat intrigued now.
Yeah. All right. Pulling off whatever like pathway we're on.
Mm-hmm.
Lydia's gonna jump off, and I'm gonna dig a small hole
Mm-hmm.
and pull out the immovable rod
Okay.
and jam it into the ground,
All right.
and just start like sailor nodding my Aurochs reins onto it, be like, immovable rod! It can't be moved!
All right.
Immovable rod!
Did you? And did you put the rein? Where did you put the reins exactly?
I said I knotted it around the rod.
Got it. Okay, just making sure.
Like good old sailor knots, because, you know, Port Town.
Okay, fair enough.
Dylan examines Lydia's knots.
How
Oh,
good are my knots? No.
very nice.
Daphne's also gonna look at the knots. 'Cause yes, very well done, sweetie.
I was only in a coastal town for no reason.
Well, I mean, those aren't typically the knots I use, but they look to be well done.
Hopefully I did that right and didn't just fuck up a movable rod. Hang on.
Dylan ties up his Auroch as well.
Mhm.
Same.
Okay.
Because the whole rod's like a foot long, right?
Correct.
So there should be enough in an ideal world for us to at least tie up 3.
If you
Of the
squish them
Aurochs.
all down, like
If
all
we
the
squish
reins.
down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Daphne's gonna look towards our Oni princess.
Mhm.
Do you have a preference for sleeping lodges at all, dear?
As long as there's cover from the elements.
Okay. Daphne's gonna bring out her spell components, and then
Mhm.
for a minute, she's gonna work on it, and then she's gonna cast the Magnificent Mansion, which is affectionately dubbed the Clover House.
Okay, can you roll me a D100 real quick?
Magic
no.
mountains, magic mountains.
If Magic
This is why the mountains are bad.
If Magic Mountains makes me waste a 7th level spell,
You're going to sleep anyways.
39.
Okay.
Oh god.
That was a
Tiny
flunk.
hut.
Lydia,
Get a hut.
high or low?
Low.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot of dice.
Oh, nice. What are you doing?
What you doing, Dia? Rolling some dice?
So,
Making plans.
Oh
Daphne,
no. Oh no.
while you were focusing and you cast this, spell, the winds begin to swirl around you.
Why?
And as you're so focused on the spell, you're not exactly too worried about it as the light illuminates as you bring your hands together before releasing this arcane magic. But as you do so, who's closest to Daphne?
I assume me, because Daphne and I were
Okay,
like, staring at
so
each other. Oh no.
as this arcane magic is released, you turn and you look at Lydia. But as you do so, there's something different.
Mm-hmm.
As you hear the whispers of the arcane, you turn and you see what you expect to be Lydia. You see what appears to be a grotesque demon that's just with gnashing teeth and just like bones sticking out from the skin, just with appears to be like ram-like horns. You are frightened of Lydia.
Give me. Daphne's gonna turn around and just enter the house. Mansion. She does not compute what she just saw.
So we have the mansion?
The door's just closed.
Wait,
Yes,
I
we
didn't
have the
close the
mansion.
door. I just entered the mansion.
Well, you're frightened. And Lydia's right next to you.
Do the rest of us see this, or just does
You see, for some reason, Daphne just seems like as if she just saw like the ghost of her like dead husband or something and just quickly entered the mansion and just closed the door behind her.
Delan kind of turns to Lydia. What did you say to?
Nothing. I just set up the immovable rod. I mean, I'm not that bad of a sister-in-law, I don't think.
Dungeon Master, how long am I frightened for?
Yeah, as you keep yourself behind the door, keeping it closed, just feeling like your heart's racing for about 30 seconds before you find yourself feeling a bit composed once more.
Delan starts knocking on the door. Dearie, can you let the rest of us in? It's a wee bit nippy out here.
Daphne opens the door, but she does not exit because she's still trying to compute what the fuck she just saw.
All right, and you open the door and you do see Delan and the rest of the crew.
Do I still see the zombie?
No.
Daphne's gonna poke her head out, which is probably looking really weird to anyone who hasn't seen it before because it just looks like a floating head outside a light door. Where'd the zombie go?
Zombie.
What?
There was a grotesque zombie with bones sticking out of it and a melted face.
I think you need to sleep, Daphne.
Have you been slipping into my whiskey?
You have whiskey? And you didn't share.
I have Emperor Sake, and I've offered to share.
Gale's is gonna just brush past Daphne and just go to his room and close his door.
Mm-hmm.
Rude. Okay.
Good
Just
night.
You'll hear the door slam.
Okay.
teenage rebellion.
I'm at least gonna go inside. It's cold.
Everyone, just come in. It's warm. The servants will make us
I'll be
dinner.
back.
Okay.
Delan follows everybody in and just turns to Lydia and Daphne. He's still a wee bit upset with that one back there as he motions towards the air.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All right.
Is our little Oni princess coming inside?
You notice that she's been... As you peek around to see where Morai's okay, you just see that she's just standing on one end, but then seems to be... You only see half the body. She's just like seeming to be... It seems like from what you can tell body language wise, like she's tilting her body to the side, just like leaning.
She's trying to see if there's like a house behind the door. Is that the impression I'm getting?
You kind of get that impression.
And we're gonna just be like, "Don't." I did the same thing.
Dalan
They can do these things.
Dalan opens the door and just kind of leans his head out. Trust me, it's bigger on the inside.
Hey.
She
References.
slowly approaches the door, puts her hand in, then looks quite confused by this.
Exactly what I did the first time.
And then slowly
Deja
but
vu.
cautiously enters in.
Diar goes in last.
Once everyone's inside, Daphne's gonna close the door and she's gonna look towards me, right? Okay, so your room will be up the stairs, 7th door on the left. The servants, she says, gesturing towards the ghostly visages, will bring you anything you need to eat, drink, or the like. There is a library, a bath, and a training room if you so desire.
Right. She's slowly, like, you get a hint of acknowledgement, but she's just slowly looking around, just taking all this new scenery in. From what you can tell with your passive insight, all of this seems very foreign to her.
Well, no doubt, because it is architecture based off of the Fall Confederacy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like there is a lot of paintings that are up and about. I imagine like each time we come in, the paintings change to different locations.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that stays in the same place is the portrait of the Dumb Luck Club, which is over the fireplace in the dining hall.
Okay.
Although now, noticeably, there are changes to the portrait with the things that are happening, because that's how Daphne sees her family in her mind's eye.
Mm-hmm.
So now Lydia, the ends of Lydia's hair are slowly turning strawberry colored, and there's now leaves along parts of Daphne's skin.
Mm-hmm.
Are the pets there? Are the pets included?
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, there is an visage of a running away goblin in the far corner.
But where's Waldo?
Oh no.
Where's Almond?
and Jonesy and Black Wolf are there as well, looking confused as heck.
So Dalan sits Josie / Sakir on his shoulder and heads off to his room, grabs his loot, and then comes back to the main area and just kind of sits down and starts playing for everybody.
Okay, give me a performance check.
Yay.
Performance check.
Ayo.
I am really good at those.
If Daphne brings down her violin, could he get that with advantage?
22.
Never mind, he's already rolled.
Yep, it's all good. But you both bring your instruments down and begin to play a tune that's very familiar to both of you, as the Fall Confederacy is that of a seafaring culture. It's quite common for some of the music Delan performs is very familiar to you.
Yay.
If we're taking moments, I'm gonna unattune to the Brooch of Remembrance and attune to that wand that I bought.
You got it.
Mysterious wand.
Yep. Give me a moment. I'll pull that item up for you.
Is Mirai just kind of like standing there, or is she like gone?
She's like, from what you could see, she's exploring the place. Like, she's trying to get an idea as to where on Earth she is.
She's not. She's not on Earth.
Right.
Luca will probably walk with her try to answer questions if she has any.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now give me a moment.
They are, or where they are. I don't know if Umiko can answer where they are, but she can.
She just
They're
says
all
it's
on the same
freaking
page
magic.
Where they don't understand magic, so I feel like it kind of helps if they both understand that they don't know fully.
Let's see. Okay.
Guys, I can't move now.
Why can't you
Not
move?
No.
Not
Nacho,
chosen.
Nacho sleeping in my lap.
Aww.
Why would you want to move? You're playing D&D.
Because I want to get my snacks that are over on the dresser.
Well, use the Force.
I've tried. I haven't passed Force Class 101 yet.
That's why you always need a sticky hand nearby so you can just get it.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay. There we go. All right, so I'll go ahead and send you a DM, Lydia, real quick.
Ooh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. There you are.
Been that long since we've DM'd.
Mm-hmm.
How long has it been since you guys DM'd?
I sent a message on the 20th.
Yep, there you go.
Ooh. Aha, my suspicion was correct.
There you go. Now, you'll find that when you add it.
Yep.
So, and go ahead and roll for the charges. Oh wait, no, you don't need to. It's already set up as such.
Nugget.
So as you spend your time attuning to it, you see that you see that she's that Mariah's just having a. It's very much like I'm just thinking, the best way to describe it is, you know, when the in history class where it talks about how like the natives met the explorers and like how they were fascinated by everything. It's very similar to that. Like Mariah's like fascinated with stuff. Like she's just like pokes at it, pokes at some things, tries feeling with her hands. On the rare occasion, she might even lick it just to see what it is exactly, just to get an idea. Because you know that this is how the Oni work, in that they try to understand everything through similar to that in their senses, but also a lot of this is foreign to her.
Just while we're exploring, she'll speak. I'm going to say, this group can do a lot of crazy things that I couldn't even imagine.
You see, as you're explaining this, you see her grab a hold of what appears to be one of the life-size portraits and just pulls it off the wall.
Oh. That's a painting, dear.
Well, that's certainly not like the paintings that you have.
No, they're kind of done in a different style here, or where she's from.
So while you use paper, they use wood. And she's just like she's like focusing on the frame.
It's more decorative. They like to kind of show wealth in a way.
I understand showing wealth, but how does? And she's just like holding it now. She's just holding it with one hand, just like at her side, just like as if it was like holding a bag of luggage.
Yeah.
And just says, "How does this?" And she gestures to the wood carving. How does this emphasize wealth and luxury?
Oh.
Any craftsman can do this.
Not over there.
So they're lazy beyond the wall.
Do I hear that?
Wouldn't say
They're on the second floor away from you all.
I wouldn't say lazy. I'd say it's more that they take pride in a very specific thing.
How was that any different?
Well, because that's the one thing they're the best at. They focus on that, and then others will pay for their service because others might not be.
So they're trying to show their best by showing, oh, look at me, I can add a little bit of a squiggle to this wood. Just carving right into it with a knife.
Not as talented as the Oni.
The look she's giving you, it's like going, like, it's pretty much the same as, like, someone saying 1 + 1 = fish, and you're just like, what?
Okay. So you know how, like, your family is in charge? Like, that's your main thing. Well, some people in theirs, their main thing is the squiggles.
So they dedicate their lives to mastering squiggles on a piece of wood.
Yes. I
She
never
just
said
looks-
it was a good way of life. It's just what they do.
It's what they do, but that makes no sense to me. She just with one hand just puts it back, hanging on the wall.
It's like, fix it. Like, straighten it out. But yeah, they pride themselves on specific things. Like, each person and everyone else in this group, they have one thing that they're clearly the better choice for, best at.
She's just looking and just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you dedicate something that should be a practical knowledge to someone? She's just like so confused.
Well, it's also their own personal choice. They get to choose what they want to focus on.
It's a miracle they've survived this long. And she mutters just like having no understanding of this whatsoever.
I don't know how to make her understand.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that people take pride in mastering a simple meat over a fire.
Do you remember Krulid?
Yeah, but he was weird.
Well, he's a pretty good cook, too.
So he's just as weird as the people beyond the mountains.
I mean, you're not wrong that they're weird, but it's been kind of fun exploring it.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps. She just, you see like the gears are just turning in her head though. You're not exactly sure if it's producing anything, but she is seriously thinking about it.
She's giving it the old college try.
Do you want to go? I was planning on going to meditate in a sec. Do you want to come and, I guess, process all this new stuff?
I think that'd be for the best.
Okay, let's go find a spot.
All right. While that's happening, the rest of you, Lydia, Diar, Daphne.
Daphne has stolen some of Dalen's whiskey.
Okay.
Here's the thing. She poured a cup. She didn't drink it, though. She went over to the small shelf that's underneath the portraits of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Puts it down. As a sort of offering, it just comes back and says, that was Demetrius's favorite drink. I told him, though, he wasn't allowed to drink it because it always got him into very whiskey situations. He was that got me into puns, actually.
Delan picks up the flask and then just kind of like holds it up towards the picture. Here's to you crazy bastard. Delan sets his loot aside for a bit, and looks around. And as he's looking around and just seeing the architecture and everything, it starts to remind him more of Dahlia. So he's gonna kind of like go off for a moment, and then no, because we're in. Yeah, he starts to cast sending, but then he remembers that it's probably not gonna work here. But then he remembers that Daphne has the diplomat's pouch, and we haven't checked that in a while. So he comes back to Daphne.
We did this morning. We checked it this morning, and we got a warning letter from Zareth about sending personal letters through because he reads our personal letters.
Right.
That's really unfortunate.
Look, I forgot about the detail. It's just the only people I would send letters to were Zareth and Leviathan, so it would make sense that they would read it because I was not a very good friend. I did not send any letters to my other friends. So we're gonna have to wait till we're off the mountain if we're gonna send letters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or messages, because Mountain does crazy things.
Daphne, do you mind if I keep that book I borrowed from you last night? For just like a bit?
The encyclopedia?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Just want to make sure it was clear in case you really wanted it back.
If you want, though, we do have a library, too. That has, like, every book that I ever read in the Confederacy.
Did you ever read those published papers written by Anna? Did you read those? Because if you read them, wouldn't they be in here then?
Daphne thinks back. Now, question for the Dungeon Master. What's the relationship between the Confederacy and Lydia's home country again? Was it on good terms? Yeah, Zuria, was it on good terms? Okay
well, I
terms?
mean, you did have a few trade deals in place, which was not exactly uncommon for you, considering the fact that that the Fall Confederacy's powerhouse was through trade because of their strategic location. But there was nothing like formal in the sense of an alliance or whatever.
Because I remember Daphne in the beginning of the campaign hearing about the papers. She's the one that told Lydia about the papers. So I was wondering, did you read them?
I think Daphne would have read them then. So yes, the papers are probably somewhere in the library. Kind of like in a newspaper section like you see in some of the libraries that's like covered in dust because no one reads newspapers anymore.
I might go spend some time in a library. Thanks, Daphne.
No problem.
Thanks for including a library.
Well, it's me. I wouldn't be much of a mistress of lore if I didn't.
No, Lydia enjoys books a lot, so Lydia will take her leave and go find the library.
Daphne's gonna look over at Delan. Does she notice anything different about him before she continues this conversation they're having? Has the Mountain done any weird shit to Delan? Is he hairier?
You don't notice anything weird with Delan.
Okay. How are you holding up, dear?
Oh, I'm actually doing all right. I'm looking forward to finding out if this contact of Lydia's is the person that we've been looking for, or at least the one that I've been looking for, in regards to the Golden Syndicate.
Ah, right. Well, we determined at the very least it doesn't look like Karatak is the leader, at least from what Umako's very sneaky sleight of hand has shown us. But that does forth the question on why Talus is so sure about it.
I have more than a few questions, but once we narrow it down, I am going to have words with whoever the bastard is.
I don't blame you.
Mm.
I myself am somewhat worried about Anan and Anira. Anan, I know for a fact, being a revenant, he would just go back to the nearest dead body. Because that's what happened when we first met him. He literally transported into the body of the doppelganger we had. That freaked us all out. But Anira...
I can see where that would.
Yeah, pretty much. I forget what we were trying to do, but we had it in the bag of holding, and we brought it out. And we had beheaded it. Well, Youth had beheaded it, which was weird, because it took the appearance of myself. So we literally watched her as she beheaded me.
So I don't know why I'm asking this, especially since we have Diar, but you just had a body in your bag of holding.
Oh, this was before Diar.
Fair enough.
It was so it was a doppelganger, and doppelgangers are able to hold knowledge in their heads. So since it took my image, it had basically all my surface thoughts, my mannerisms, everything. It could go back. It was trying to replace me in the group.
Aye.
So we had to do away with it. And then as we were bringing it with us, because we didn't want that knowledge to get to anyone else, Anan appeared. To which freaked me out, because to my knowledge, Anan was on a slab getting autopsied. And yeah, since then he's just been here with us, and he has under a year now to do away with the author, since she was the one responsible for all the chaos and my framing and poisoning Leviathan and behind his assassination. And he has only a year to do that, and then I don't know what is going to happen after that.
Is that any restore him completely?
Daphne's going to bring her hands together. Yes and no. I can't bring him back fully because he's already here. His soul is on the physical plane. I'm going to be honest, he's never acted like that. He's always had a dry sense of humor, but what he is now is like nothing like the Anan I know. Until he's dead, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it right now. I've been looking into necromancy some more, which has never been a subject I am comfortable with. But if it means I can bring him back, because he shouldn't have died. He got in that position because he was defending me and looking into information on who could frame me. I am partially responsible for what happened, even if he says otherwise. And the only spell that can bring him back is Resurrection, which is a very powerful spell. One that I haven't seen before, so I can't mimic it like I do with my other spells. So I've been basically, well, since I've gotten this place, looking into the books from the library to see if I can find any reference material to it, but I'm gonna bring him back. In an ideal world, I'd bring Black Wolf back too, so I could punch him in the face for being But Medi deserves a chance to meet her dad. And in that, but his is a bit more difficult because the soul needs to be willing, and even if his soul is willing, I have to deal with his patron, who, to my knowledge, I guess from my best estimate, doesn't like me or Lydia, because I kind of took away its champion.
who was his patron?
Someone from the Shadowfell.
Give me an Arcana or History check, Delan.
Let's see. History. Kinda.
The kin's off my lap. I can get my cherry sours.
That is gonna be an 8.
Oh.
Okay. You haven't really heard much about the Shadowfell. You've heard the word, but the only thing you can tell is probably not good. That's all you really know.
Basically, from what Thal had revealed, what would happen was the moment he died, his soul would be consumed by his patron, from my understandings. And Black Wolf made a similar deal. However, we weren't aware of the deal when Thal died. And when Lydia brought him back with the assistance of the maiden, she says, gently holding her pearl, we brought him back and basically effectively broke his contract.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I assisted in breaking a contract with a being from the Shadowfell. Now, mind you, to my knowledge, he, whatever it was, can't do anything to me on the physical plane. To my knowledge.
I would hope not, dearie, because the last thing you want to piss off is something that's, at the very least, close to God here.
Yep. So, basically, if I wanted to bring Black Wolf, I would have to take away another champion, warlock, whatever it's called, from him. And then he might have some say in the matter and maybe send something after me. Which I'd probably just roast them alive, but...
Well, hopefully we can find a way to bring your friends back without incurring the wrath of whatever's on the other side.
Agreed. Are you stuck?
Delan just kind of like looks down at his hand, and for a moment she can see like this kind of like blue glow from his like eldritch energy. Ever since I made the I guess you could say the pact with the prophet.
This is your first time. This is the first time
What?
hearing this.
Wait, you made a deal? You made a deal with an entity. You've seen what happens when we make deals with entities, Dalan. Nothing good happens from deals. Who'd you make a deal with?
That's right. I told Gale. I don't believe I told anyone else.
No, you haven't. Who did you make a deal
Okay,
with?
a lot has happened in the last few days. Okay.
Really? Details.
He's kind of like, okay. So a few days ago, back when we were at the palace, I kept seeing someone around us, and so I went to go chase after this person to see if they were potentially someone hostile. And I ended up coming across a young man who was very kind, very seems like a very simple lad, and he sort of talked to me for a bit, and next thing I know, and he holds up his hand, and he's essentially charging an Eldritch Blast.
As you see, you see this familiar spell, and you see that it has this, and unlike before where you saw like this strange sort of emerald green beam from Gale, this one seems to be of of a warm light. As in, like, it reminds you a bit of the warmth you would get from a hearth.
So to clarify, you were being stalked by something which you followed by yourself, not knowing what it could be. You discuss things with a child?
You hear the back in the faintest part of your mind, and then you just hear a voice that says, "Well, not exactly stalked. I mean."
Dylan forces back the urge and just bursts out laughing when he hears that. Well, he wasn't exactly a child. He was young, like 20s, early 30s, somewhere in there.
Okay, from a young man who seemed nice, who then offered you powers, because nothing could go. What's. Did you read the fine print about your contract or your pact or whatever you have with him?
It makes you feel better. It's nightmare.
Daphne blink. He's the light bearer?
Well, he's sort of like the prophet of the light bearer.
The prophet of the light bearer. Dungeon Master, does Daphne recall any prophets of the light bearer to her knowledge?
Give me a religion check.
Why did I leave the room? A minute.
Oh, trust me, I am trying very hard for Daphne to connect the dots, but I can't make her jump to that kind of conclusion.
I'm just sitting here like, why did I need to go to the library? I could have just been sitting there this whole time.
You could have found the books and brought them. Okay, +6. Roll. Dirty 20.
Okay, so interestingly enough, from what you know, from what you know about the history of, like, about people who follow the Lightbearer and everything, you've never really heard of someone calling themselves a prophet. Though, you also know for a fact that when the Civil War in the Dratonian Empire, known as the War of the Covenant, happened, that one of the battle cries that you had remember seeing in record of saying, "For the prophet." Though there doesn't seem to be any record of someone proclaiming themselves as one.
Do I know who from the records who they were referring to?
I got to roll for this one.
Bless you, Paulina.
There's a few theories as to who it might be. Because with this conflict that took place, the Fallen Confederacy pretty much tried to stay out of it and not try to get personally invested, though there had people who had been. Some people suspect it was the now deceased patriarch, basically the equivalent of that of the Pope.
Mm.
But others suspect that it might have been the work of one who considered to be a revolutionary named Callan.
Daphne's slowly gonna blink. Delan, darling, I need to ask you a serious question. What does your prophet look like?
About yay tall,
Mhm.
short brown hair.
Mhm.
Human. Dunglot. And is there Dalen goes, actually, hold on a second. Is there anything like to write with around?
Do you not know minor illusion?
Do I? Actually, good question. Do I? Minor illusion. No, I do not know minor illusion. I do not have minor illusion. I need to get that.
Daphne beckons servants over because she has this look of anticipation, or like she has a theory, but she can't or won't verbalize it. Just like has one of the servants bring over a pen and paper for you.
Okay. If you're gonna draw this, Dalan, please give me a sleight of hand check.
Come on, roll high. I will give you bardic inspiration. Add a D10 to that.
This is very important.
Me and Blondie have been sitting on this ever since he made this contract.
So 16 plus 6.
So 22. So you're able to give a very accurate depiction of him.
And so as soon as I finish drawing, I hold up the picture and show it to Daphne.
Dungeon Master, does it look like a certain somebody she is thinking about? Even in roughness?
Thing is, though, is that you never met... You could tell just from looking at it, you never met this individual, though you also know that there isn't really any sort of artistic depiction of Callan.
Here's the thing, dear. The records there was a civil war a while ago, like before you were born, about a difference in beliefs when it came to the Lightbearer. A battle cry that I was often used was for the Prophet. Now, there were no official records on who the Prophet were. However, there was two theories that were very common. One was for basically a pope. The other was for the leader of the rebellion, Sir Callan.
So who?
Callan.
Well, I recognize the name Callan, or had I heard it from any place?
Give me a history check. You've heard of some tales as when you were stopping at the various ports from, like... And remind me again, how old are you, Dalan?
Delan is, say, 36.
36, okay. So, you haven't really met, like, or really heard much about it, though the closest thing you've heard is that there is, like, during your time at one of the port cities, was that you heard about one of your crewmates feeling a bit ill, actually going to meet someone who was from the cleric order of St. Callan.
He is referred to as a saint.
Delan just kind of has this look on his face, just like, wait, does that mean an actual saint? And then, I remember when I was, back on the boat, there was a, incident where, Toby found himself with a wee bit of, seafood poisoning, and he was taken care of by, some clerics, in a church that was dedicated to a Saint Callan.
Not surprised. He had a lot of followers, even up to his execution.
Bloody hell.
She seems hesitant to mention this, thinking it over her trust. If you're ever curious to learn more about him, the one to ask would be Anira.
Why would that be, Daddy?
She thinks it over for a moment.
Delan, seeing the hesitation in Daphne's face, he just kind of leans in, kind of intrigued at this point.
She knew him personally.
As in personally?
From what she's told me, it was never personally.
Delan quietly thinks to himself, so I think it that a certain somebody knows what it's like to lust over a pretty lady. Directing that at his patron. Delan kind of chuckles a bit, and finally turns to Daphne. I'll have to remember that the next time I talk to him. 1 second.
That... Oh. He disappeared.
Everyone's just disappearing.
Everyone's disappeared! It's the mountains!
It's the
Oh, jeez.
Magic mountains.
Magic mountains are causing chaos everywhere. Daphne, looking at him, it says, that's if it is him. Like I said, this is only speculation. Anira did know Sir Callan. That is all I am willing to say about the matter, because she told me that in confidence. But if it is him, which there is a possibility since he was a follower of the Lightbearer. Although if he's not telling you who he is, I imagine it's for good reason. But just a bit of information. Do with that information what you will. Get out of the wig box.
I will, I'll keep that in my pocket, and, we'll see where it goes from there.
Also, if it is Sir Callan, you may want to tell Lydia that. Just, she's interested in that kind of thing. She's just interested in that kind of thing.
Okay.
Don't climb the curb!
So he leans into Daphne for a moment. Question.
Answer.
I know that the Lord of Twilight isn't exactly on the best terms with the Lightbearer, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna ruffle any feathers if I'm a warlock of the Lightbearer, is it?
I mean, Black Wolf was a follower of the Beastmaster, and they're on even worse terms with the Lord of Twilight.
Aye, fair enough. Okay.
Then, now that I think of it, I'm pretty sure most of the people we follow aren't on good terms with one another, but we still all get along, so that's saying something.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, just as long as that doesn't become a source of contention.
We will not turn you away simply because you chose to follow a man that stalked you before agreeing to get in a pact with one another.
He didn't exactly stalk me. He's just trying to get my attention. Surprise, Nuggets!
Nacho's still in the wig box.
Mm.
But thank you for sharing that with me. Do you have any other questions?
Just like, no. I do have a few questions, but I think I'll save those for a certain someone when I speak to him again.
Fair enough. Just remember, we do have a time difference between the two.
Mm-hmm. While Delan is just quietly chuckling to himself in the back of his head, thinking that if this is Callan, he's remembering that last conversation with him, with the picture of Redalia.
Which, by the way, is back up in his room.
Yes.
Did your horns fall out, Umako?
They were starting to fall a little.
Oh, jeez.
He's fine.
As you're preparing to depart, Delan, you just hear the voice of the prophet. He says, "Those are some strong accusations from one who has difficulty flirting with her love interest."
Delan very audibly goes, "Hey, you know what?" So as he's walking away, it's like just suddenly seems like he's just talking to himself. But he does, as he does snap out of it. So, but you never. Okay, but I do have to ask: Is there a ring of truth to or a ring of accuracy to what Miss Daphne was suspecting?
As you ask this, for some reason you suddenly get after those words leave your lips, you feel like as if you're suddenly by yourself.
The prophet has left the chat.
So
he's embarrassed.
Delan just kind of chuckles to himself. Silence speaks louder than words.
Give me a dexterity save real quick.
Dexterity save.
Is he affecting the mansion?
He's like a god in a sense. Like, I think he can manipulate inside your magic.
Okay.
5.
Okay. As you are chuckling to yourself, you suddenly feel as if you are tripping over your own feet and just go onto the floor.
Delan gets up. Kind of dusts himself off. Okay. He just kind of very quietly chuckles to himself a little bit still, and is still just kind of thinking to himself, kind of like, I think I pushed a button.
All right. So we know what. So we're done with Delan and Daphne. We know Lydia's gone off to the study. Diar, I know Gale's meditating right now. Diar, what are you up to?
Deer's actually going to probably be in the training room.
Okay.
All of his stuff besides his pants and the dagger he may or may not have stolen from Crow when he was went part of the party with him,
Mm-hmm.
not us. And just swinging it violently.
Okay. As you are focusing on this, you're just feeling this frustration as you are slashing and hacking at the training dummies. It's frustration in that this whole time, your life had been changed because of one person. One of which that you had thought was your friend. One of which you had thought had passed on. You feel yourself just, as you're going with the strikes, you feel even more of the power from the blade. Not only from the dagger, but also it feels wrong in a way. In a sense that this isn't the one you should be holding right. You suddenly feel this desire to grab a hold of that blade. The one that your patron had provided you.
He's actually going to try to resist that urge.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom save.
That is a 9.
As you are trying to fight off this urge, it starts feeling like that of a withdrawal. You feel a bit of nausea. You feel this, almost like this pulsing headache. As you find yourself feeling the need to hold that blade, to use it. The power. That rush of that arcane power, that otherworldly power pulsing through your veins. Temptation is strong. The urge to use that weapon is very strong right now.
Diar's gonna walk closer to the Acheron blade, put his hand out, grab it with his other hand, or grab his hand with his other hand, and then just slowly, like, losing grip on it and grabs the Acheron blade.
As you grab a hold of the blade, you just almost feel like this, almost like a pulse. It feels good holding the blade once more. The nausea, the headaches, all that is gone now. Feel this power. You want to use that power. Give me another wisdom save.
Yep. I knew where this was going. A 12.
Okay, now... Okay, gotta roll this. For a brief moment, it almost feels like your vision goes red, just like before. Before you feel the urge to use the weapon, to strike out. Your vision flashes for a moment to that of a certain dragonborn.
Damn it.
But the vision's gone once more as that image fades.
Deer's gonna put on all like his armor and get his other stuff together. He's gonna
Okay.
go outside and try to hunt some creature down so he doesn't act on that instant thought
Okay.
process.
Okay. As you are exiting, you go right through the main entrance. You see Talis at the table once more, seeming to be in a borderline food coma. She's watching you as you rush out the door. Now, for this, I would like for you to give me a survival check. Normally it would be at an advantage, but because of your current state, it's just a straight roll.
16.
Okay. Now, for this next bit, I would like for you to roll me just a straight d20.
Certainly.
Okay.
A 3.
All right. Time passes. That bloodthirsty sensation still pulsing through you. Until you finally come across a creature that is large enough for you to try to sate that thirst. As you find yourself facing off against what appears to be a bear that had woken up from its hibernation. You battle this creature. The bloodlust filling through your veins. As you battle this thing, though in your bloodlust, you know that it's clawing and biting into your armor, into your flesh, and yet you don't feel any pain. You just feel this rush of wanting to sate the thirst. In the end, you take afterwards. You take a total of 22 points of damage. But after you strike the killing blow against this bear, you find that the blade pulses as what appears to be this arcane red glow emanate as the blood begins to almost like soak into, that's on the blade itself, soak into the sword itself, just like as if it was a sponge. You feel this relief. You're hurting, you're bleeding, but you find yourself able to find yourself a bit more in your sound mind for the time being.
Diar's probably gonna grab the bear because even if it's a mindless hunt, use everything you get from something you kill. He's probably gonna pull the bear over to the Aurochs because technically he probably closed the door when he left, so he's not going in there. So he's going to probably no, he's definitely going to open up the bear and use it for warmth because I'm pretty certain it's probably cold.
Okay, so you're pulling Empire Strikes Back with a bear. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Find yourself a bit more at ease as you use this creature's warmth to last you through the night. And we're going to go ahead and take a break right there. Oh boy. So, thank you so much, everyone. We definitely appreciate you sticking around and watching. We will be right back. We're just going to take our small break. Don't go away.
I told
Jeez.
And welcome back.
Did you see the message?
Yes, I did. So, just a little update for everyone. Looks like Lydia might have to be out of action for the rest of tonight's session due to some house emergencies. So, everything's all well and good. It just requires her attention. So, let's go ahead and continue where we left off. So,
The morning comes.
yes.
If something happens in the middle of the night,
Mm-hmm.
Daphne has all the servants prepare a very nice breakfast for everyone.
Mm-hmm. As you wake up, and after having a peaceful night's sleep, you all make your way downstairs to the well-prepared breakfast for you all. But you notice Diar's not at the table.
I send one of the servants to go fetch him.
You send one of the servants out, but then the servant returns, shakes its ghostly head.
Ruh-roh.
I am so sorry,
It's
guys.
okay, we understand.
I literally got up to go to the bathroom and there was like 2 inches of water in my bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we have no water in our house and water's still pouring in through our walls. So,
Oh no.
I'm not going to be able to play the rest of the night.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah, go deal with that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you can leave the camera on, but yeah, don't. It's fine. Don't worry about coming back for this, okay?
Thank you. I'm sure you'll fill me in on what I missed later. But,
Sure thing.
thanks.
Yep,
Like,
no problem.
Daphne just looks towards the group. So if they're not able to fetch him, that means he's not in the house.
Dalen's gonna get up and head towards the door just to see if he can see any tracks or signs where Diar might have headed, since we're in the mountains. With
When you
snow.
open the door, you're suddenly greeted by the open mouth and baring teeth of a large black bear that's at the ground. That's on the ground.
Dalen immediately falls over and screams.
Running with her dancing short sword at the ready.
I know the outside is scary, but it's not that scary. Do you hear
Dalen-
Talus chime in?
Dalen springs back up to his feet and pulls his spear. Bear!
Bear!
What do you mean, bear?
As in, there is a giant freaking bear at the front door.
Is it friendly?
It's a bear!
It's like Dalen immediately looks at him and go like, "When the hell have you ever seen a friendly bear?"
If you don't provoke it, it's friendly.
Dear Gale.
Dalen turns back to the bear just to see if it's being friendly.
Is its maw still open? Has it moved?
Doesn't appear to be moving. It seems to be breathing though, as you see its body raising up and down.
Dalen walks over to it and like turns his spear kind of essentially, I guess, blunt side down, and just kind of like pokes at it gently.
Diar, you feel something poke you in your sleep.
Stop it.
Oh my god, the bear ate the air!
What do you mean it ain't deer?
He's inside the bear!
Well, get him out!
It is too early for this chaos.
Everyone pause! Bear! Why are you inside a bear?
At this point, Mariah, you just see Mariah leaning over from the table, just looking into the exit, just like, what the heck is going on?
Gale just has his head on the table after seeing this. It's too early for this chaos. And then he asks a servant for coffee, surprisingly.
Imagine Lydia has like the biggest cup of coffee ever, and she's just looking at us, pointing mom stare. Diar, are you inside the bear of your own volition?
Yeah, I used it as a blanket.
Then he just kind of like drops his spear a little, like his shoulders kind of drop as he looks down at the air. Why the fuck are you sleeping outside?
Oh, when the door
Long story.
Hmm? Yeah, definitely. Get up.
You just
When
hear
the
Morai
door-
chime in, saying, "At least he has some common sense. He knows how to keep himself warm at night."
Apparently. The door, when it closes, it becomes invisible.
I.
It's why we haven't been able. No one's been able to bother us really, because they literally can't see the door, and only those who I allow in can get in.
He turns to the air and use the pointing end of his spear to kind of like lift up the bear a little bit, kind of moving the blanket off of him. Well,
as you open it, you see that you get the foul, gamey odor of the bear.
Dalan just kind of like waves his hand in front of him.
Give me a Constitution save.
Daphne's further away. She's just like, nope. I'm not
Con
doing
save.
that.
I'm good at those. 25.
Okay, you're able to keep your breakfast in.
He's used to the smell of rotten fish. So he just kind of like waves it off. Woo. All right, come on in, sunshine. You might want to go ahead and get a shower before you come to the breakfast table.
He has to take a shower before he comes to the breakfast table.
Oh, give me a moment. I'll
Don't you have some magic you can use for that?
Yes, but I've been trying to refrain from using magic all the time. Because Umiko gives me very disappointed looks every time I do it.
And yet you make a whole home out of magic. You just hear her mutter.
Well, yes, but there's a difference between using mundane magic to make someone clean and using magic to make a shelter that makes everyone comfortable and that has multiple resources inside.
Again, she uses magic to make a home.
A lot of them use magic a lot of the time.
Well, in fairness, I don't even know if I technically... Well... No, I think the house would have gone to his brother. Well, she just, like, walks over to the table, sits down to eat something.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, it's good to bathe once in a while.
Deer's gonna get out of the bear, and then he's going to, like, if anyone's still watching him, he'll give them, like, the 1 minute finger, and then just chop off the bear's head.
Okay.
Check his bag of holding for, if he still has the half-elf head.
Oh, you still do.
Alright, he takes that out, looks at the bear head, holds them both in hand, and drops the half-elf head and puts the bear head in his bag of holding.
Okay.
And then he starts to skin the bear for its fur and its meat. Basically, try to utilize everything.
Okay. Give me a survival check.
Certainly.
Did you just try to frame the bear as killing the half-elf and then kill the bear?
12.
See,
You get as much as you can, though the height is tough, from what you can tell.
Delan sees Diar chop off the head, and then it immediately turns to Diar. What is it with you and heads?
I'd rather talk to a bear than a half-elf. And the mutant.
Okay, this is...
Dalan's not even going to question that. He just turns around.
Daphne...
Daily.exe is not working.
It's at this point, Morai just looks over at Gale. and slowly, and then just says, do you use heads for magic as well?
No, I use this thing. And then he pulls out the dragon orb.
Looks at it.
He's got his
with her fingers. She just starts tapping
try to
it.
lick it, Mirai. Don't lick that one, please.
I'm not gonna lick it.
You licked the wall yesterday. I saw you.
In my defense,
Gale
it
just
was
raises
weird.
his head. Gale just raises his head and just gives this.
I never seen a structure made out of white stone.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was a pillar of salt, okay? I wanted to make sure.
There
Why
are
did
some
I-
buildings that are made of salt, although I don't recommend it. And a lot of the buildings do have a taste of salt since we're by the seaside.
Again, I thought it was salt.
That's okay.
She just says, just like after having a blank look.
Daphne doesn't. That's okay. It was a fair assumption.
Gale puts the orb away after Marai puts it.
Yeah, she was poking it with her nail, just like you hear a tink tink tink.
There's fruit and rice, and basically a lot of the food that she's seen. There's like a mixture of stuff she would have at the Confederacy, and there's also like a bunch of like food that would be had here on the table, and Daphne's just like having a lot of fruit and a lot of pineapple.
Okay. So, after you have your breakfast, you all begin traveling once more. And just for the sake of time, we'll go ahead and say that after the next day, you find yourselves rather close to the mountain range. Like, you're actually at the base of the mountains. As you're standing there, you see Mariah just look to you all. Like, Mariah looks to you and each of you and says, whatever you do, don't show any hostility. They will not hesitate to end you.
I look at Diar. And Gale.
More than likely, we're already being watched.
That would explain what
Gale's gonna stay in Draconic. Not to worry. I won't show any hostility.
Daphne replies back. Good.
Although I'm still mad at Diar for what he said.
Okay, do I need to put you both on? She says this is a comment. Do I need to put you both on a timeout? Because I will. I don't care who's watching us. You will both go on timeouts. I'm not dealing with it anymore.
He's the one who started it, calling me an animal.
Yeah, and then got a blast of magic at him. This is when we use our words, not our magic.
Remember, he shocked me with Eldritch Blast before, knocking me off my aura. Yes, I know. I know what I did was bad. But shooting it out. But you could have shooken me or something. You didn't have to. Never mind.
Yeah, shake you when you're on a moving animal.
Just can we all get along, please?
Mariah just stares at you all. Closes her eyes. And then turns and just starts walking.
It's refreshing to know that it wasn't just me when I first met you guys.
Umiko, that is both hurtful and true.
I only speak truths. She just walks out.
Oh yes, you only speak truths, don't you, Garlos?
Just walking away.
Meanwhile, Talos is just saying,
Fuck is Garlos?
What should we do since we have them? I don't know if it's going to be safe in the mountains, as she gestures to the two animals you still have.
We have to keep them with us.
As they're all both on the backs of Jerry.
We have to keep him with, because otherwise, I'm not sure if it's animal cruelty or manslaughter to leave them alone on the mountain.
Why not both?
Probably both.
Probably both.
Then what about the goblin yesterday?
The goblin we brought back, and he went of his own volition.
He ran screaming his head off.
Mm-hmm.
Fearing for his life, as he should.
Yep. But until we can do something about the animals, they have to stay with us for their own protection. So, Jerry is on animal sitting duty.
You hear that, Jerry? You're gonna have to be a dad. It just looked, the construct just looks just like, hmm? And then just as it follows into the Mirai, as it follows Mirai and anyone else who's moving through this valley.
Dalen's following.
Gale's following as well.
All right. For this, I need everyone to give me athletics checks.
Athletics.
Ooh.
We don't roll that often.
I've never rolled that.
23.
That's a plus.
12.
I'll go ahead and roll this for her.
21.
Is boy okay? I keep hearing screams.
He's having a very heated conversation with other nerds on Discord right now.
Okay. So, as you are entering this entering this valley between this area between the two between the mountains, you notice that the trail seems to end. As it now is being replaced by various large rocks like boulders and bits of smaller rocks as well. Just like it's like as if you're gonna have to do. It goes off in a slight angle as you first start, but as it gets higher up, you get higher up in elevation. You start to feel like you have to put a bit of strength into it. Diar, it's really a challenge for you. Probably you're not exactly sure if it's just because it's been so long since you've done this, or if it's because of the fact that you have a lot of weight on you now. But as you're trying to adjust yourself in various positions, you find yourself more towards the back of the group as everyone's climbing up these rocks. All except for Mirai. As you see that her feet still not even touching the ground, as she's almost like she's floating upward.
Come in handy.
Now, Gale, can you do me a favor and roll me a d20 real quick?
Not again.
Pets, more pets.
No more pets. We can't afford them.
11.
We already have 2 more mouths to feed.
Okay. Diar, high or low?
You know what? High.
Okay. You continue upward. Not having much issue. In fact, you see that it's relatively calm among the winds. Though, it's starting to get a bit steeper as the terrain's starting to become a bit more difficult. It's now considered, game mechanic-wise, difficult terrain as you're climbing up. So, I'd like everyone to give me another roll of athletics.
Yeah.
Wait, is this like a steep slope, or are we like on a 90-degree angle?
It's a steep slope, like, and keep in mind, there's like large rocks that are, so it's not like
No.
You're basically bouldering.
Question, Herald.
Yes.
With monk shenanigans, does that help with going vertical?
That helps with going vertical. Right now, you're just going in an angle.
19.
19?
8.
8.
30-20.
30-20. 17. Okay.
I was getting a headache.
Wake headaches. I hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you continue climbing upwards, you start to have. It starts becoming rather difficult for you guys, and at one point, Daphne, you reach up and you're climbing, but then as you are about to take your next step, you find your foot slipping on some loose rocks. I'm gonna need you to give me a dexterity save.
Wait, I'm good at those.
Okay. So you find yourself slipping, and you find yourself letting go of the ball as you start falling downward. Now,
Doesn't youth have feather fall?
yeah, but it's not like she's falling like 100 feet down or something.
Oh, okay.
It's like you're still at an angle.
This is gonna hurt, isn't it? She's gonna fall on her back.
You take 5 points of falling damage as you find yourself going down about 10 feet. Just, it hurts. That hurt. As you grab a hold.
You alright, dearie?
Peachy! She just continues to climb. Because there's no point in complaining because no one will listen.
So.
She's obviously irked though as she's climbing.
Mm-hmm. So as you move upward, I'm gonna need. Umiko, please roll me another d20.
D20.
Just a
There you go.
d20. Okay.
15.
All right. You're moving upward, and as you are continuing to climb, you see what you recognize as your first sort of abnormality, I guess you can say. You see what appears to be that of almost like a pike. And resting on that, you see, as the wind begins to pick up a little, you start seeing a little bit of snow. You see what appears to be that of a skull. A skull that which seems to be across it smeared with some sort of black color. And you see that there appears to be like little tatters of some sort of clothing or fabric on that seems to be coiled around it, just blowing along with it. No, along with the wind. You all see this.
The hell is that?
I think it's a skull.
A warning sign, probably.
I look towards Umiko because she probably saw this before.
I mean, I'm assuming it's kind of like saying that we're in the right direction, or it's a warning.
You hear a call from the Mirai. Shows we're in a particular territory. We're in one tribe. We're in another tribe's area.
Which tribe?
Let me pull this up.
Boy is getting very enthusiastic over that.
He's very lore heavy with anything nerdy, so he's very passionate.
That's a good thing to have.
Yes.
Wish I could find a boy who's that passionate about lore.
The Ebony Claws.
Was very important.
The Ebony Claws? That's a new one. Dungeon Master, have we heard that one before?
You have not, Daphne.
Any claws?
Good, bad, neutral. Should we be worried?
Depends, really. Depends how much things have changed.
Were they a part of the compact?
As far as I'm aware, they currently are.
Okay.
Though they're also ones I'm a bit worried about.
Is that who we're going to go talk to?
It's only one of them.
How many are we expected to go deal with?
As far as I'm aware, we know that the Iron Dragons have joined the enemy. But besides the Ebony Claws, the Scarlet Tusks, the Jade Chimera also joined as well. We've been waiting word on the Opal Horns, however. She's saying this as she continues moving upward.
You said Iron Dragons, right, TM?
Yes.
Okay, so Ebony Claws, Jade Chimera, Opal Horns, Iron Dragons, Scarlet Tusks.
And Jade Chimera.
Yep, I think I thought.
As we continue upward, Delan pulls from his pack a piton and starts using it to, as we start climbing, essentially using it as an anchor as we, every so often. So that way, if anyone starts getting, or if he starts losing his grip, he can try to save himself from having to fall as far. He runs the extra rope that he has a little further now, so Daphne can catch up.
Okay.
Daphne's catching up just fine, thank you. She is a strong, independent lady who don't need no help.
So,
As you're holding a kitten.
meanwhile, while Daphne declines the help, I would like everyone to roll me another set of athletic checks. Dalan, you get to roll yours at advantage since you're using your piton.
Dirty 20.
So wait, what kind of check is this again?
Athletics.
Sorry, I was somewhat distracted because I was holding it.
But it's an advantage.
At advantage since he's using his piton.
It's a 10. Damn.
Dirty 20 for me.
It's better than that one. I picked the best time to pull that out.
Okay. So Dalan, you're definitely moving slower. Daphne, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna need you to give me another dexterity save.
Oh no.
Listen, guys, Daphne has weak noodle arms. We know this. 23.
While you're climbing, you find, whether it's because of your bruised ego or whatever, you after you slip, you catch yourself immediately, not worrying about falling, but you are going a bit slower, just like at the same speed as Dalan.
Oh, so now you return. And you're climbing my leg with your tiny, sharp claws. Okay, she's just gonna continue on.
As
bruised ego is still bruised.
Yeah. Once you reach over this particular sort of ledge, I guess for lack of better terms, Murai stops and starts looking around. She's up ahead of you all.
Daphne's gonna walk up towards her slowly, looking around too.
Gale's gonna do the same thing.
Delan follows suit.
Okay.
Alright, I actually have a question. Who's Kazu? I've been wondering this since we were attacked by a couple of Oni earlier, a couple days ago.
Kazu?
She turns and looks. Mirai turns and looks at you a little bit. You see for the first time a little bit of surprise in her eyes. Are you certain you heard Kazu?
Yeah, they spoke in giant before they left. Going into some kind of mist, I believe, or a fog or something.
I think they did Misty Step, from the looks of it. If I didn't know better.
Everything okay?
I take it you know who that is.
Kazu, she is one of the, I guess in your tongue you could say, lieutenants of the Ebony Claws.
So the territory we're in. Lovely. Dear, did you hear anything else about what they said before they ran off?
Just that they had to get back to Kazu.
And those who are looking around during this time, give me a perception check.
Perception!
Perception. Dirty 20.
Okay.
Wait, is everyone supposed to do a perception? I'm sorry.
Only those who actually are looking around.
Oh, yep, I am. 14.
Okay. You all look around, and one of the things that catches your attention for you all is you realize now that as you're looking around, you see that there what appears to be that of remnants of a paved road. And you see that what appears to be all around are various pieces of ruined structure and rubble. Covered in snow, ice. Some areas seem to be just purely frosted over. But it seems to be this grand area on this sort of high-leveled spot you're at.
Town in this area?
It was an old stronghold.
Oh.
From a time when those below the mountains, gesturing to the valley that you guys were just in, were at war with us.
The era of the first emperor?
It was from a time before any of us were alive. A war between us and the feathered ones. The war had ended. I think it's what they say in your tongue. What they call a protectorate.
Oh.
You were subjugated. in exchange for our survival. This fortress was one of those strongholds they had during that war.
Mention of it being before any of their times, Daphne's just over here thinking, maybe not before my time, but okay. Because I don't know if she knows how slowly elves age.
Good question.
Anyway, shall we continue?
As she nods and continues moving forward, and as you're moving through these ruined structures, you get a sense of the age and the history. It's definitely really dated. But you also notice that there seems to be elements in which that show a bit more of a modern time. You see what appears to be smears of black on the walls. You see what appears to be that of the remnants of a skeleton, just as if they were being held up by the wall itself. You see the tattered clothes and armor that it's wearing.
Must have been a prisoner.
Very weathered.
It has like an uncomfortable shudder as his mind kind of reaches back to when they were in hell and he saw the imprisoned souls.
Daphne also has a rather blank expression on her face as she's looking at it. Because I realized, as someone has pointed out, that with Daphne's high passive perception, she'd also would have heard the screams of the damned as they slept.
Mm-hmm. You all continue moving. Those that continue to move. For you, Daphne, are you just looking at it and then moving, or what are you doing?
Daphne's gonna bow her head slightly in respect, and then follow behind them.
As you all continue moving, who's up in front with Modai at the moment?
Probably me.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably Miko.
As you're continuing to walk, Miko, you suddenly hear a
Oh no.
She'll put out her arm to like stop Mariah and like kind of like just like the pause for a sec.
This happens as you step.
Oh, as we step. Okay.
As you step, you hear a
Is it like underneath
I'll
them?
stop and like I won't move, but I'll look at like what did I step on?
You look down and you see what appears to be part of a now caved in skull.
Is it a fresher skull compared to the other ones we've been walking around?
Give me a medicine check.
I'm not gonna know. 10.
Judging from how easily you stepped on it, it's definitely been there for a while.
She'll just like turn the party, just watch her step. She like shakes off bone dust off her foot, I guess.
As you shake off a few of the bone fragments that had gone into your shoe, like your sandal, you just shake it out. As you all continue moving, Emiko, Gale, as you're walking, you also hear a as you step.
Gale's gonna look around the area. Is the entire area filled with skeletons?
As you take a look around, you see that there are various pieces of bone in the area. But you also, with your passive perception, you also notice one thing. You see that there is what appears to be another pike, but instead of it just being just a skull, you see what appears to be a mountain of skulls around it. like a small mound, as if it's holding it in place.
You know,
It's about 30 feet to your left.
Daphne's looking at it. You know, this is reminding me of a time they stacked a bunch of produce, of apples, and then little Leviathan, when he was about 5, saw it, and he wanted an apple, so he grabbed the one at the bottom, and all of them came tumbling down. She said, looking at the mound of skulls.
You hear...
Mirai.
Sorry, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Gale just points to the mound of skulls. Is that common to do in the ebony claws, or was that from a battle, or what is that?
Probably mixture of both. A battle, and also as an offering.
An
to
offering?
To the Colossus.
What's the Colossus?
Delan looks very curious when he hears that word as well.
She turns and looks at you while in your tongue. Guess you can say the god. The god of my people.
Oh.
This is their form of worship, offering those that, from what they consider to be their hunt. They view war as in not just a battle, but as a hunt, a great hunt.
So if any of the Oni tribe, if the Iron Dragons are with the faithful, we have to be careful about them then.
Each one follows the Colossus in their own way. The Ebony Claws believe this is their best. This is the way to worship.
Are the Ebony Claws black? Like the Oni, are they black? And have these weird looking masks?
Their clothing is black, but not their skin. It is to... They believe that it is through the shadow of the Colossus that we gain our strength. But they do indeed wear masks. They hide their identities.
Gale's gonna stand draconic to Daphne. So we faced members of the Ebony Tusks. Ebony Claws. Good to know.
Mm-hmm. Daphne's still looking around.
Should I say anything to Mirai, or just keep that to ourselves?
It wouldn't hurt. She's looking at the pile and looks back to Mirai. Did you travel this way to the monastery, or did you use a different path?
I went a different path, but this is the faster way.
So is this new?
More than likely not.
We were attacked when we got up to the mountains by members of the Ebony Claws.
I figured as much if you were asking about Kazu. She doesn't... The only time she ever makes herself known is when she has a target.
They were pretty far in, like, away from the mountains, though, when they attacked us.
which would make sense because ebony claws are more of the, guess you can say, stealthier cousins. In fact, we're probably being watched by them right now.
Out of all the Oni tribes, which one's the most dangerous?
Oni by nature are dangerous. As she smirks, as her teeth are, her serrated teeth are revealed to you. In its own sort of twisted sort of smirk. But if I had to have a choice, I'd rather avoid facing the Iron Dragons. But look how that turned up.
The ones we already have to face. Lovely. Gale's gonna continue moving. He's going to be careful not to step on any more skeletons.
Okay. As you continue moving forward through these ruins, and you're keeping your wits about you, you do see something that catches your attention. What appears to be that of what appears to be like a black smearing that makes up of a circle on the wall. You also see that there is what appears to be a line directly through it.
What's that mean?
And you see that it's on the ruin of a tower near apparently one of the entrances. That I would not know. They have their own symbols and codes for various things.
Each Oni tribe have a different set of symbols and codes?
Not exactly. This is what makes the Ebony Claws unique.
Is it just a black circle, or is there like other symbols inside of it?
You just see, like, it's on, so you see this tower. You see that on the side of it. You see that it just has a circle and a line right through it.
Horizontal or vertical?
So Daphne has the linguist feat, which allows her to create her own cipher. So she's used to using ciphers. Can she make like an educated guess on what it could mean?
Let me take a look at that feat real quick.
Linguist.
Yep.
Delan has that as well. He'd be able to assist. If
Let me take
possible.
a look. You're gonna have to roll me an intelligence check.
Okay, can I roll it with advantage with Delan assisting?
It depends. Are you going to assist or are you going to just do it yourself?
I'm going to assist.
Okay.
All right, so it's an check.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I roll with +1. A whole +1. All right.
I've got a +3. Would you like me to roll it?
Yeah. We'll let Delan roll it since he has better. Daphne assisting him.
Okay. So we're gonna... Oh, dirty 20 on the first one.
Very nice.
Not one on the second. So dirty 20.
It's really hard to tell what it is exactly, though. You're basing this on an educated guess. As you get closer to it, it doesn't seem weathered or aged, but it's almost resembling that of like a sign for something, like that's that's regarding this tower.
It looks almost like it's some sort of signpost.
Yeah, for the tower?
I think so.
It could mean do not enter. Danger, cursed, free hamburgers.
What's a hamburger?
It's a delicacy in the Confederacy. It's beef mixed, put into a patty, served with lettuce, cheese, other vegetables if you so choose.
You see, all of a sudden you just hear Dalen's stomach growl.
We just had breakfast.
Yes, and then we climbed up a bloody mountain. Having examined this and seeing that this is some kind of signpost, is Dalan able to discern it, like, any more beyond that, like this? Or
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Though the fact you got that from that 20 was already a surprise to boot.
Yeah.
Because that was the DC for that.
Oh. Okay. Looking around, is there much is there any place else that we can proceed beyond this point?
In regards besides that tower?
Or like heading to the tower.
Well, as you see, it gets a little bit off of the road, like to your left. But you see that towards it, though, you see that there seems to be more of these spears and pikes that seem to be filled with, like, some of them seem to have piles of weapons. Others seem to have. You see one hanging there with like a full rib cage and spine just dangling there. You see that there's what appears to be that of a tattered banner, but like it's like all lined up leading towards that tower.
Quaint. Well, shall we continue?
This seems like a very obvious path, and obvious paths have often left us in not so great situations. I mean, you've seen our luck.
Dalan immediately flashes back to the Dragon Island. Aye.
Imagine Mirai's just looking at them, like wondering what the fuck we're talking about. Or
basically, she's just standing there, just watching you guys.
Are we following this path towards the very ominous tower, or are we going a different way?
Dalan.
She's directing this to
Mirai.
Well, from what I know about them, could be leading to something of a good opportunity, or it could be a trap.
Knowing our luck, it could be both.
Well, isn't this one of the groups we're supposed to talk to anyways?
That is true.
Should we test our luck and go towards the tower?
Might as well. Well, what do you think, Umiko? This is more your territory than ours, and we promised we
I was just gonna say, Mirai, does your father want us to talk to him first before we go out and talk to the others?
All I know is that I was to return at some point, but he never mentioned exactly the time, or just said once you're done with what you do. So this could be Even if we did this on our way back, it wouldn't do us harm.
Ko, what do you think?
I would say wait, just so you guys can experience firsthand Oni's in a more controlled environment.
You hear a scoff from Mordai as you say that.
At least I know what we're getting into when we talk to your father. I can help try to diffuse anything that could come about if one of us offends him.
Daphne looks offended that she would possibly offend somebody.
Delan just kind of taps her and just goes, I think she was talking about me, Daddy.
What's Diar and Gale doing at this point?
Offending her.
Gale's just looking at the tower. And
You see that the tower is not like a full-blown tower. It's like a ruined tower.
do I notice like any lights off in the horizon?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. I will guidance on that.
Mm-hmm.
Got a pointy ear. Boing. Boing.
It's really hard
And
to tell,
guidance.
but go ahead, roll that d4.
Oopsies. Hang on.
You continue as you're looking around. You don't exactly see any like flickering lights or anything, purely because of the fact that it's currently daytime and snow is the light is reflecting off the snow. But from what you can tell, this is, as far as you can see, this is like the closest thing that resembles to that of any sign of things or someone being here. Being or have been here.
So you want to wait on the tower then, Umiko?
I would think that way we can get a baseline of what's happening, but if you guys want to, we can just deal with it now since we're here.
That's what I was going to say.
I think since Umiko has a better understanding of the situation we're in and the clan we're going into, it would be better for us to be in a more controlled setting.
Dalen's gonna pull his spear and tap the tip of it and cast light on it.
Okay.
Kind of plant it into the ground a little bit, and since we're waiting here, he's just gonna give us make sure we have light, so then before it starts getting dark.
Yeah. So it's about a midday as of right now, for context.
Okay. So okay. Well, then I'll talk about that then.
Yeah.
Mariah, I'm gonna ask you again, what do you want?
Me personally, I do prefer us going there, but going back to to my tribe, but considering the fact that you have had some conflict with the Ebony Claws, she just seems to, you could tell that she has that conflicted look on her face, though. It's not one as in like of indecisiveness, but more of, now that she has this new information, she's trying to figure out the best way to move forward.
Do we know why the clan attacked us earlier? We didn't get an assumption on that. They just were told to report back, correct? She looks at Diar and Umiko for clarification on that.
I mean, Diar heard what they said.
I'm pretty certain I just remember them saying, we have to get back to Kazu. So, that's all I can remember them saying.
From what Krulu told us, he said that some of the tribes have been moving farther in and causing a lot more trouble in Inifon in general for a lot of people. Could that be violating the I forgot the word he used earlier, DM?
Treaty?
Essentially treaty, but
Yeah.
there was more of a specific
Violating
word he used.
Yeah, violating, like, because they were protectorate and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
If it is the Ebony Claws, then they're definitely acting on their own accord. And that would be in violation of even the Kanabo Compact.
Then perhaps we should go tell your father first, then, before we deal with any of their clans.
How long would it take to get to your father?
If we move, we'll get there by the end of the day.
Let's just wait. Let's get to your father. Tell him the news and the fact that the Ebony Claws attacked us.
We don't have proof of that.
Oh.
We don't have full proof of that. We only heard a name and basic description. We can't go making those assumptions.
Do the Ebony Claws have a specific look to their weapons? Because I believe one of our friends had taken one of their glaives, or naginatas, or whatever that weapon was.
Hey, Youth took one of their naginatas. It was about 3 of her long.
And then Youth just looks over and just like, yeah. And also one of these. She holds up the mask that she was wearing for a time before meeting Morai.
That's proof.
Well, depends if it's unique to the clan, she says, looking at Morai.
Considering that it's black, I would not be surprised. Still, it doesn't make sense to me, anyways. Though they could, though I do know they've been wanting their own autonomy.
Again, I'd say let's just go talk to your father, because I also don't think Youth walking in wearing one of their own masks is the best course of action.
Well, no, she changed it when she met Morai.
But still, if they find that on us, that could also be a problem.
Morai just mutters something in Giant under her breath, but before. All right, well, let's just put it up to a vote. Unless you're all in agreement in what we're going to do.
Go meet your father.
She looks to the rest of you.
Well, hello to Dillo Daddy.
Let's meet your father. Lydia?
So, since everyone is in consensus, she gives a nod before leading once more beyond the ruins. And who's in the back of the group?
Deer will be.
You, as you, and Nadir, as you're going with the rest of the group, you notice at the tail, like in the far corner of your eye, you see what appears to be that of a figure. It's seeming to be in the shadow of the tower. Before going back once more, obscured from view. As you are now about 60 feet away.
60 feet away from the tower or from...
60 feet away from the tower and whatever that thing was.
Diar is going to say in Giant, like in normal speaking tone, hope, or not knowing if they'll hear him or not, and say, I did see you.
Mm-hmm.
Daphne looks over her shoulder because I imagine she's like a bit further to the back because she's probably still very sore from her tumble.
Mm-hmm.
You say something, dear?
I see ya.
I see you too?
Oh, I like those branches on you.
Oh, thank you. They're still getting used to them.
And Daphne, as you guys are moving and you begin to, you notice something a little different about Diar. You notice you're not looking up as much to have eye contact with him.
Daphne just pauses suddenly, looks at him. Did you get shorter?
Or did you get taller?
Like, Daphne's like legitimately looking at him like, I don't have to look up as much. So either I got taller or you got shorter. I look at Lydia. Lydia still this is Lydia like shorter compared to me still?
Still seems to be about the same height.
She looks back at Diar. I think you got shorter.
It was hard getting used to being taller. Now I'm getting shorter again.
Well, maybe.
You notice your clothes are a little bit baggy, but not to a point where it's like impossible to wear them. It's just like, it's like that borderline of oversized. For context here, you shrunk about 3 inches.
Small boy.
I'm now 7'9".
You got a bit shorter, dude. This is the weird magic thing happening. I get branches, you lose inches.
Delan just gives us a body check.
The only one that hasn't been affected, it seems, are Gale, Umiko, and Delan.
Diar takes another quick glance towards the tower after he had said what he had said.
Mm-hmm. You just see the tower there as you all continue onward. But as as the day reaches near its end, you start to worry that you might have to go into you might have to set up another mansion. But before you think about this, you see some flickering flames in the distance. So you see, and before a moment, Mirai just pauses and says, well, looks like you're not only going to meet the Scarlet Tusks after all.
Uh-oh.
Looks like there's another meeting. as she marches towards the camp, despite the snow, the large about the 2 feet worth of snow.
Does this mean Umako is in up to her waist in
Yes.
snow?
Yes.
Umako,
Gail's going
This
to
is fine.
Gail's gonna go up behind Umiko and pick her up and give her a piggyback ride. Here.
Warning next time before you just pick up someone.
I did say here.
I just picture Umiko just like flailing.
So, as you continue it, yeah, but now you're on the back of the Auroch as you're moving onward. And that is where we're going to end our session tonight, as you arrive at the camp.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much everyone for hanging out with us. It's awesome having you all here. And once again, we thank you everyone for supporting and showing love to the campaign. But yes, please be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the campaign, and please be sure to keep an eye out for Thursday, as we're going to be back with the Revived Pandemic. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you all again next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Nacho gives you all boops, and so does Nugget. He gives you virtual boops.